So my name's John Sergeson. We're in the Eartham Worms Community Garden in Tillydrone. My role is to be garden coordinator.
So today you're at Freshers Snug Community Garden and it's in Seaton and Linksfield neighbourhoods, and we're at the bottom of School Road with the beach over there, and we stood beside Bayview Court and it runs down to Alton Court Play Park.
Good morning and welcome to Inchgaff Community Centre and its gardens. My name's Brian and I'm a volunteer at the centre here and have been for the last 5 years.
I think the concept around the garden changed a lot because at first a lot of people weren't allowed to socialise together. People weren't allowed to go out and see the outdoor spaces a lot, and a lot of people didn't have their own gardens, especially in Tillydrone. There's a lot of high rises and small tenement flats.
So we go right the way through Seaton and Linksfield neighbourhoods, so roughly 6,000 to 6,500 households within this area. One of the key things for the area is it's one of the most vertical communities in Aberdeen City for the amount of space and the amount of high rises. From this spot where I'm standing, within about 5 to 10 minutes walk, you've got 2,500 households, the majority of whom don't have a garden.
My name is Christian Arad. I'm a Tory resident. I'm also the elected councillor, one of the elected councillors for Tory and Federhill. We're in St. Fitix, so St. Fitix is well known for its park and now for its edible garden.
When I'm growing the stuff on in the polytunnel, the pensioners themselves have created three nice little garden areas there, where before it was just hard ground and tree roots.
We've now been able to have a lot more people in bigger groups outside, and I think that's really helped a lot of people's mental health and social anxiety as well, because it's just trying to take the next steps to get back into a new world of normal.
So because of the area and because of the needs of the area, instead of looking at what was talked about the area, as in the violence and the name it had got, we looked at what the needs might be that weren't being met at present, why it was so high on the uptake of food parcels. The community garden is so important because of the area, the statistics for the area, and it shows there's high incidences of alcohol, drugs, mental health problems, as well as social exclusion, problems with hate crimes, antisocial behaviour, and a lot of things that essentially are unmet needs, and a community garden can meet those needs.
But these are really for the public, they're not for me. These are for granddad and grandmother to come along with their grandchildren, pick a box and work it.
At the moment we've got a committee who all have different roles and all do the best to try and share the workload. It's run also as well by the community who come in and do volunteering. So all the boring behind scenes paperwork stuff normally gets done by the committee, and then the weeding and composting and things like this is all part of a bigger group, the wider community that come in and contribute whatever hours or whatever skills or talents they have to be able to make the space work. It's not all just run by itself, it does take some intervention, and I think we're getting to the point now where a lot of people are taking on more responsibility and enjoying the role that they're creating within the garden for themselves. It wouldn't be a community garden without the community that runs it.
We're in Tory today, the beautiful part of Aberdeen, but in St. Fitix Edible Gardens, we had some great volunteers who came around, and despite the pandemic, I think you can see a lot of growing out there, a lot of vegetable growing, and a lot of events as well, a lot of participation from all ages.
Events in the garden are always they can be very stressful and high energy consuming, but then once the event happens, it's something that you couldn't really put put a value on in terms of like money or a prize or anything like that. That feeling is the prize of going through the organisation and trying to get the event to run as smoothly as possible. We were involved with the Eden Project's Big Lunch, which we're going to be doing also as well again this year.
People who come here to help themselves in the garden and to help each of us to cultivate whatever they want to cultivate, whatever it is, staties or other things. I think they can take it home, which is great. You know, it's growing food, but it's not only about growing food. It's important. Growing food is important, particularly for people who can't afford it, who will be struggle to get that fantastic food that we can grow here in Aberdeen.
The idea is to go for growing because of the need to encourage nutrition, encourage growing things, and also overcome that cooking part of things as well. That perhaps if people are growing things, they might be more encouraged to eat them. And then look at cooking and other skills that could save people a lot of money. So again, there's a lot of poverty, unemployment and various other things.
We kind of realise as a species now that we need to bridge the gap between society and nature. A community garden is a great space in which you can do that, whilst also socialising and also being able to take home locally produced food.
The aerial view as well. So this gentleman plants stuff for his wife who's housebound on the 11th floor. He plants stuff, you know, 60, 70 plus, plants stuff so that she can see stuff grow. And so little things like that we thought could just be made a little bit bigger.
Hello, here we are in Seaton Park. It's a lovely day and I'm Jackie and I'm with the allotment market stall. So we're selling vegetables in the park today. We are here every Friday from 10 to 1 and we collect vegetables from across the city and sell them in the park here.
But what is important as well is the connection, you know, being connecting with other people. Intergeneration is important as well. It's for everybody, all ages, so people working together and having a good time together.
So many people gathering here from all over the world, you know, and living in this area. So it's a very, very welcoming sign on the wall.
It's a great way to have this outside community, people meeting one another. So that started, in fact, with the Community Empowerment Bill at the Scottish Parliament in 2015. I was the Scottish Parliament at the time. And it's quite important to understand that it's to empower not only communities, but individuals.
Nature is declining in such a way. These small green spaces and pockets are a great way to be able to bring back biodiversity, and whether that's in a small pocket of your own, if that's all linked together across the city, I think community gardens are more relevant now than they've ever been.
So there's always something happening. Check on the website of Cultivate Aberdeen, check on the Facebook page, and you'll see you'll be always welcome. And have a look. You don't need to wait for something to happen. It's open. Come and have a look, and if you're interested, get involved. Any age group, that's very important to see it. You know, kids, teenagers, you know, older people, anybody who wants to go. I've seen some families coming, several generations, 2 or 3 generations together. I'm bringing my grandchildren to it. Of course, the teenager are not always that keen. But, you know, the youngest ones, the 5, 6, 7 years old ones, you know, enjoy it. They love it, you know, being in the mud, you know, doing some outdoors. And it's a fantastic view when you think about it. You don't get a much better view than at St. Fittick's.
Well, people get involved for lots of different reasons. Some people come from the allotment sites because we're able to support the allotment sites. They donate produce and we're able to give them some of the proceeds back after we keep some for running the project, and then the other money we can give back to the allotment sites for them to use to develop the sites. So some people come from there and they're experts in the produce and growing it. We also get people who would like to volunteer, who maybe want to learn more about the produce, about growing, and they can come and volunteer on the stall. We also have a growing space ourselves and they can volunteer there, and it's a really nice place just to come and get away from stress and to spend time in nature.
Always looking for volunteers. A little knowledge always goes a long way, because at the moment the seedlings going into the ground, we don't want them plucked out as weeds, you know. But yeah, a little bit of experience helps surely.
Some of our volunteers are still at school. We've got volunteers who are volunteering for their Duke of Edinburgh award. Some of our volunteers are older people who have been gardening all their lives and have a wealth of knowledge to share. So we get a really wide range of ages. The allotment sites themselves have their own community, and a lot of them might have a communal plot. They might be involved with schools or other groups. Each site, some of the sites do that.
Being able to put on events with other community gardeners and gardens in general has been really good. It's a good support and good motivation, especially the new Snug garden down at Seaton with community wellness. That's been like a really nice connection that we've had, and they seem to get inspired by what we do, and then we get inspired by what they do as well in turn. So it's like feeding each other all the time.
I really love the allotment market stall. I love that you can come to the park and buy produce grown in your community, in your city, and yeah, you don't have to traipse around the supermarket for things that have grown dear knows where.
A community garden, to me, it's just that it's somewhere everyone can go, everyone can feel safe, everyone can be a part of it, whether it's in a small way or a big way, and it's accessible for everyone of every ability, age and background.